Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again. My name is Jonan Kandwanaho. I'm the Managing Director, Jonaki Holdings Limited. Jonaki Holdings Limited does money lending, registered money lending entity. We also do transport, bridal cars and car hire services. So this talk happens every Friday. We also share the same video or sharing on YouTube. You can check out on my page, Jonan Kandwanaho, to get the information or to learn one or two things. So today's topic is job security versus financial security. These words might not be new to us. We've heard about them. We've heard people mention them in passing. We've heard people mention them, either emphasize them. But yes, we are delving in deep to understand the difference between those two terms and how they apply to us. Because one of the two, if handled well, are a game changer in someone's life. Financial security is a game changer. So we're going to discuss job security versus financial security. Just in my previous sharings, when I shared about income streams, the first thing that you have to do, one of the first things you have to do actually, is perhaps to get a job, to get an income. You might have to get a job to get an income. So it could be an income stream. But when it comes to job security, it takes a different angle. It takes a different angle altogether. Job security is when you're nurtured in a way that, when you lose your job, life is almost, coming to a state that there are people who lose their jobs and their lives almost come to a stop. Talk of coronavirus, the pandemic we've just been living with now for quite a while. Some companies have had to reduce on the staff. Others have really farmed down, closed business, meaning that people have lost their jobs. So if they had their jobs as the only security, not only for their lives but also for their families, then it became disastrous. It became a challenge. That's when people get stuck. That's when families starve. Because you held onto a job only as a sole source of your income. And even after realizing the income you got from the job, you did not mind investing it. You did not mind multiplying it. You did not mind. You just thought the job will exist till eternity or till you retire, maybe at 55 or 60 years old. But it's not the case. Lots of things can come into play and they cause you to lose your job. Some of us, when you're signing a contract for a job, in case of permanent incapacitation, maybe you get an accident and you lose your leg, or you're down with an ailment for like 6 months. An institution has an option but to give you a small package, and those are only good institutions, and then lay you off. The institutions that we work for want us when we're live and kicking, when we're healthy, when we can perform. Because they also have to deliver on their mandates. They have to deliver on their activities, operations. They have to have return on investments. Because having a company is an investment. So you want to make money. So you can't blame them. So if you're hinged on a job as a sole source of income, then you may need to revise it. We are tempted to think that, it is a must from school to job to retirement, have a good house, have a good car. No, that kind of cycle. But who defines that cycle for you? You define it for yourself. Having a job is not bad. It's not bad in any way, because it could be an income stream. It's also an application of what you learned in school. You need to implement what you learned in school. You have to, impact the world through your work, because the Lord told us that He would bless the works of our hands. So if we're not working, then what will the Lord bless? But my argument is holding on to the job as a sole source, especially for entrepreneurs. There are some people who are really entrepreneurs in blood, but they are struggling on jobs. Like in my previous sharing, an entrepreneur is 10% entrepreneurship, 20% manager, 70% technician, composition of one person. But you find entrepreneurs are fixated on the jobs, and yet their calling is to create more jobs for other people. You are meant to be a solution to the public, to the world, to the community. And you're even certain of the things you're meant to do to create jobs. But you've held on the job for security. Job security. You've held on the job. The Lord has prepared you. You even know it in your conscience that you have to have a company that does so and so, that has to employ a number of people, but you're seated as one person and you're also formally employed. So who will employ the people that the Lord prepared for you to employ? Have that job to get the capital to start the entity that the Lord has called you to start. If the Lord has prepared that you employ 100 people, their lives are hanging in balance just because you've not taken a decision to start that company. I challenge you. This is to challenge you. Take the step. Take a bold step. Take a bold step. And interestingly, entrepreneurs are very good even in formal employment. They are state of the art. They perform very well. So it might be very hard, even during this COVID-19, to get laid off. Have you seen some guys who say, for the layoff, I wish they would lay me off so that I can open my eyes and start doing something with myself. There are some people, when they are fired, they are happy. You find them, they are laughing. Just because they are waiting for something to push them to get out of that form of employment so they can create more jobs for other people. So they can start the vision, the dream that they have, that they've always wanted to start. But they were not, they didn't have the energy to actually step out. So they wait to be fired, then they think of stepping out. I think you've heard of such people. Someone says, I've been fired, but I think I deserved it. I wouldn't have moved on if I was not fired. I wouldn't have started this company if I was not fired. So surprisingly, as companies lay off people, entrepreneurs are performers. They will keep on their former jobs. So you need to take an individual step and do that which the Lord has prepared you to do. Start that entity so that you can employ the people that the Lord has prepared you to employ. You need to step out. Entrepreneurs work in a way that they free themselves of the job so they can create jobs for other people. But if you're still hanging on the job, it might be tricky. And time is running. Every day that passes, every year that passes, it ain't coming back. So the earlier you take that decision and take that bold move and do what the Lord has called you to do and start that company and start that entity, the better for you and for the public and even for the government. You may think you're serving the government a lot in that position that you're holding, but how about the income tax you'll be paying? Your business will be paying. How about the people you'll be employing How about the you'll be supporting? Because you might be employing 100 people, but they have like 500 dependents, especially in African setting. One person has several dependents. See, so you might be supporting 2,000 people when you're not aware that you're supporting them through the staff you're paying salary. So you can imagine the service you could be doing to a community, to the world, if you don't step up. You can imagine the disservice. It is a very bad thing. You're doing a disservice to the world. You're doing a disservice to the community just because you've not stepped out. You've not stepped out. We've been moving in different stages. We started with the agrarian age. We started with the hunter-gatherer age, where our parents would go gather food, hunt from the animals. Then we went to agrarian stage. Then we went to industrial age. Then we are now in information age. I'm driving you to how you can actually step out. The stages we've been moving through. You don't step out haphazardly. You have to have some bit of knowledge. You are living in information age. You have to be good at your game because your competitors are not seated. Now I'm driving you to financial security, which is the best option. It is a very good option. But you cannot be financially secure if you do not have the knowledge that is required to thrive in this world, to thrive in whatever industry you want to join. Knowledge is power in the information age. This age we are at, knowledge is power. You've always had people. They tell you, there's this coach or there's a person who is having that position that you want to attain. You have a company, but his company is a notch higher. He even gives you an option to coach you, but you can't part with 200,000 or 500,000 or 1 million to go for that course or to go for that coaching. You think the money is a lot. How about the losses you incur in your business? Yes, because you do not know, you do not have the information to excel. You don't have the information to establish systems in your business. All for the sake of saving 500 or 1 million or 5 million, you lose more. It's not the assets, it's not the gold, it's not the silver, it's not the things that you have that define your wealth, but the knowledge that you have in real estate, the knowledge that you have in gold or silver, the knowledge that you have in managing your businesses, that matters, that can help you thrive. That's why people who win lotteries, after having that huge amount of money, count down 1 or 2 years, someone is down, he's broke, flat broke. Why? Because he did not know how to manage that money. He was not fully prepared to handle that sum of money. And what of the rich people? Someone, just because he has knowledge, even after losing an empire or losing a business, the following years he's back up and running. How can you explain that? If not for financial knowledge. Meaning that so long as he has the head, so long as he has the mind, so long as he has the expertise and the experience that he acquired while running that business, even if the business collapses, he can still bring it up. Now, in a way, he will be financially secure because he has knowledge on how to run business. He has hands-on experience. He knows what button to press and what not to press. He knows what to do and what not to do. He has accumulated wealth of experience. And he continuously learns, he continuously enrolls for coaching, he continuously, attends sessions, training sessions, workshops, conferences. Because he knows that if he can only attain one bit of piece of information that is lacking in his business, it will be at a different level. We are away from our destinies, we are away from our riches, just because we've not attained the information that is required to get us there. You may need just one session of a training and you're good to go. Just a spark to get you moving, to get you set. But whom do you associate with that can get you that piece of information? Are you open to training? Are you open to coaching? Are you open to learn from people that yearn to the levels to attain? Someone might be at a certain level, maybe level B, and you're at level A, but you want to attain level B. How about you catch up with that person? How about you immerse yourself in his company so that you can step up, so that you can get to that end level? And interestingly, most of the entities are willing to take them on. They are willing to take us on. The ones that we look forward to attaining their levels, they are willing. But are we willing? Are we ready? Or we still think we are saving? We still think, we are good. We think we know it all. The moment you think you know each and everything, that's where a challenge is. That's where you get it wrong. It's not the wealth that you have, but the knowledge of the wealth that you have that matters. Because it's only then that you can be assured of its continuity. It's only then that you can be assured of its growth. Because whatever does not grow, it dies. Whatever does not grow, it dies. So you're either going up or you're going down. And it's not that you don't have the opportunity. There's an opportunity to learn more. There's an opportunity to get trained. There's an opportunity. There's an opportunity. So how about you take on that opportunity? How about you take on that opportunity? You've been seeing coaching sessions. You've been seeing trainings. You've been running masterminds. We walk with you the journey from point A, B, C, D. My mastermind is starting on July 18th. But even enrolling it will be a challenge. And you still go back and complain. And you still go back and complain. We need to improve on our knowledge. We need to improve on our understanding. If we are to be financially secure, we have to leave the comfort zone. You have to kick off that curtain of comfort zone and step out and trust the Lord to take us higher heights. But if you're still comfortable in that zone, you're not about to progress. You're not about to progress. And if you still think you know it all, you have it wrong. You totally have it wrong. So now my question to you is, can you improve on your financial knowledge? Can you improve on your financial knowledge? Can you get coached? Because there are several aspects of life that you need to improve in. My next topic will be 5 capitals, where you have to grow yourself physically, spiritually, socially, financially, intellectually. 5 capitals. But for now, can you step out and learn a little bit of finances? You're a few meters away from your destiny just because you've not learned one small bit, one piece of information. And if you're holding on to a particular job, may you not wait to be pushed out. May you step out in faith. Step out in faith. And you see if the Lord will not support you. Because you're denying the world your test, your real test, your purpose. Just because you're holding on to a job. Job security. And the job can be compromised in very many ways. Your boss can wake up on the wrong side of the bed and he tells you tomorrow you're fired. God forbid, you might get permanently incapacitated and you're kicked off. You cannot perform anymore. Small package and you're good to go. They let you go. You've had statements, you're irreplaceable. Where? You live like today and tomorrow someone else is ready to take on your job. So how about you help yourself and listen to God's calling for your life and start that entity that you want to start? Because the solution to this world, as we cry of unemployment, as we cry of, loss of jobs, you could be a solution to the world. And that's the biggest contribution you can contribute to your country. If you actually want to serve your country, start business, start an entity, run something that the Lord has called you to do. You'll have done a great service to the country in all aspects. In all aspects. I have a friend of mine who was telling me how he feels when he's paying an income tax of over 300 million a year. How it feels. The government might not use the money or the taxes that you pay as you want it, but as a Christian, it's good that you pay taxes. It will be good on your side that you pay taxes. You're obliged to pay taxes. And it will be a huge contribution to your country. Because how will Uganda progress to middle income if you failed to contribute or to play your role? How? Now, if you shun away and someone else shuns away and the other person shuns away, we might be losing hundreds of industries that would be started. And you can imagine the employments would be losing just for the sake of job security. I think job security is being meant to ourselves and to our generations to come, because the Lord tells us that we should leave wealth to our children's children. Not even our children, but children's children. So if you're thinking generational, if you're thinking, 4 or 5 generations from now, it is pertinent that you build something that outlasts you. Build something that outlasts you. Do something that outlasts you. So that even when your grandchildren come, they will know that, how Papa, our grandpa, our great-grandpa did something. He contributed to the world. That's why in some of the developed countries, you see companies which have stood the test of time. 50 years, 100 years, 150 years. You read a book, Built to Last by Jim Collins. Companies that have stood the test of time. So you can imagine if the owners of those companies had clinged on their jobs and got stuck there, how would it have been? How many jobs would have been lost? And how much money would their countries have lost from income tax and all the other things? How many families would have lost out because they are not supported and they are formerly employed in those companies? So guys, this is not the time for job security. It is time for financial security. Someone might be asking, shall all of us go and become entrepreneurs? There are some people who are made to be working on the jobs. Yes, true. Starting your own entity does not take everyone. But if you're hesitant to step out, you might be among the small bracket of people who are called out to start that entity, to start that business, to start that industry, to build that company. And there are those who are meant to be formally employed there. I'm speaking to entrepreneurs. If you're listening to this video, if you're watching this video, you could be among those guys who are called out to do something, who are called out to start something. If you took out your time to come and listen in, to come and watch me, if you have been following, it could be your time, it could be you the Lord is speaking to start something. and that security you want to get from the job, the Lord must have assured it already. Financial security, you're already assured, but you just need to step out. This is therefore to beseech you, as I conclude, that instead of holding on to the job, especially if you hear a voice in your soul, in your heart, calling out that, would you do that thing? Would you start that entity? Would you start that company? Would you listen to that voice? You do not know what you're losing out on. Listen to that voice and start that something, and leave the rest to God. Because even the jobs that we hold onto, we are not certain. We are not 100% certain. Because we are not our own employers. We are not. So guys, step out. But as you step out, improve on your knowledge, financial knowledge. Read material that contributes to you, to yourself. It is you that is very, very pertinent in any business, in any endeavor. It is you. That's why even when a rich person fails, by the time you realize 1 or 2 years after, someone is up and running because he has experience, he has knowledge. Let's continue to advocate ourselves. Let's continue to learn. Let's continue to improve on ourselves. That's when our entities will actually thrive. So, I urge you to continue learning, improving on yourself. Get taught by someone above you. Get coached by someone above you. You might be holding on that small fee that someone is charging you, and yet you're losing out a great deal. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And I pray and hope that this evokes you enough to step out in faith and start that very thing that the Lord has called you to start. Because I know if you're watching right now, you could be in the bracket of entrepreneurs that are sitting on ideas that you've never thought of implementing. Just because you're holding on to something. Step out in faith. Thank you, and God bless you.